Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. This is y'all Shorty. I'm here with another video. Hey, yo, what? Listen, let's put it like this. A Shorty never knew that the gates of hell really existed. I don't know if any of y'all knew about it. A lot of y'all probably did. But listen, this is new to me. And for those of y'all that don't know, yo, it's crazy how, like, imagine living in a place where there's a big ass hole where there's nothing but flames coming out of it, y'all. Just imagine.
Mysterious and controversial, almost no one ever visits it. But even if it's only visited by 9,000 people a year, which is insane. Guys, I'll be honest. I'm really excited right now because I think I might have found the most mysterious country in the world. It's so mysterious and controversial, almost no one ever visits it. But even if it's only visited by 9,000 people a year, which is insanely little, without a doubt, it remains one of the most interesting countries in the world. See this? It's the gates of hell! 100% real! There's no other place on earth where you can find something like this. It's a hole in the ground about the size of an American football field, 98 foot deep, but it's burning for the past 50 years. And the reason
Why was we never told there was a city out there somewhere with a big hole in it with flames coming out of it, looking like the inside, the core of the earth? Yo, like, that's crazy. For 50 years, a hole in the ground has been burning, and nobody knows why.
reason why it can't stop burning, no one really knows why. There have been some theories, but they've never been answered, unless the government is hiding something. But more on that later. And see
Things that make you wonder. Those are things that really do make you wonder.
this? It's the country's capital city, a city holding so many world records, yet it's like a ghost town. Where are all the people? We're also talking about one of the richest countries in natural resources, yet many of its people don't really live the best lives. Their capital city was actually named the most expensive city in the world to live in for workers. So now that I got your attention, let me just tell you that I'm literally only warming up. There's like a gazillion more things about this country, so let's talk about Turkmenistan and how it became one of the least visited places in the world while being one of the most interesting. Why it has the strangest places on earth and why, despite being one of the world's biggest suppliers of natural resources, its people remain poor. Let's start from the gates of hell. More than 5 decades ago, in the Karakum desert of northern Turkmenistan, a group of Soviet scientists arrived in search of oil. That's when they thought, hey, this is a nice crater. How about we drill it? But when they began to drill, the crater collapsed and it started to emit dangerous gases. So they stopped. And then they had a genius idea. How about we burn it so it stops emitting the gases? And that's how the gates of hell were created. A supposed week-long fire turned into a 5-decade-long inferno that no one has any clue why it burns so long or when it will stop. For the lucky ones that somehow managed to get into this country, like my friend Drew Binsky,
I can say that I've been to every single country in the world.
the gates of hell have become a tourist attraction. But last year, their former president decided that the gates of hell are somehow dangerous, so they have to close them. First of all, it's dangerous to the environment. Then
Damn. It's crazy. Yo, like I said, just imagine living in a place like that. Like, why a lot of us don't know about this. And you know what's crazy? They say that city is one of the most, it has almost all the resources. It's got the richest resources in the world. Like, they got everything over there. But what's crazy to me is, like, it's not even crazy. I'm gonna put it like this. Yo, it just shows you that a lot of the verses in the Bible, a lot of the stories that were told in the Bible could actually be true. Damn, 50 years, could Lucifer, for the past 50 years be walking among us already? Man, that's just some theory though. But yo, this one of the countries that's got, and this I think this is where he's gonna show.
It's been badly affecting the health of people living nearby. And finally, it's a waste of gas, the money. And I guess the third one is probably the actual reason why they care. Who the hell knows how they will close this crater? But speaking of hell,
Can it be closed? Because I don't know. They've had time to close this little, the gate of hell, and they haven't. But can it be closed? Could they get that close to close it? I know you can get close enough around, but can they get close enough to try to seal that some way, somehow?
we need to talk about the people who live in Turkmenistan. There are over 6 million people living here, and as strange as the existence of the gates of hell, Turkmens live with strange laws we imagine exist in our world. Like, you see this book here? This book is called Runama, also known as the Book of Soul for the people living in Turkmenistan. And they have to follow it kind of like a Bible. But the thing is, this book was written by the former president / dictator himself.
A man-made religion.
And to make sure every citizen is reminded of it, he even ordered to build a 20-foot tall statue of it in its capital city, Ashgabat. If you're a local and you need to apply for a job, your exams and interviews will contain questions about the Runama. Even the country's driving test contains questions about the book. Okay, I think you're starting to...
Yo, what the hell? Like, yo, listen, I love history, and for those of you that might not have known that, there could be a gate of hell, or the gate of hell was fake, or, you probably have a doubt in your head, could it be real? It exists. Somewhere in this country of Tukum, I can't even say Tukuma. So, hey, let's keep watching.
Realize why I say that this is one of the most unique and mysterious countries in the world.
It is.
But what makes it even more unique is the things they decide to ban. Like, it's super random. Black cars are banned. Video games were once banned, as well as circuses. Ballet, opera, long hair on men, and facial hair is banned. In the capital city, dogs were banned because the president doesn't like how they...
Yo, he might as well banned everything. Like, yo, he banned the dogs though. Like, yo, listen. The shit that people could do when they got power. Like, what though?
Smell. And get this, even lip syncing at concerts was banned for the singers.
All the things that are legal in America are banned in this country, yo. Everything. Imagine living in a country like that where you can't have no music, no nothing.
That's like half of today's pop stars' careers will be over. Oh, and they also banned the free press, and they have one of the most expensive internet in the world, so it's kind of banned for poorer people because they can't afford it. Oh, and also it's the world's slowest internet. Like, this country has world records in so many random things. And at some point, all the hospitals outside Ashgabat were locked up. So even the people who lived very far had to travel to the capital city if they were sick.
So basically, for those of y'all that live here in the United States or any place where you got healthcare, Medicaid, you get, some type of good income and stuff like that, you're living better off. It's crazy because this is supposed to be one of the richest countries, right? But for those of y'all that do complain, hey, look, listen, other places got it worse. You live here in the United States, man, it's time for you to start getting your shit together.
Imagine, at that time, more than 3 million people were living outside in the rural areas. So now the question is, why do people living in this country have to go through all these bizarre rules? And even though the country is so interesting, almost no people visit it. Well, the country is rich in gas, right? If there's one thing the gates of hell
I just asked that question, right?
have proven to us is that they have a lot of it. Like billions a lot. They have the fourth largest natural gas reserves in the world. It's on par with countries like Russia and Qatar. Maybe even more, because Russia's gas reserves are expected to last over 50 years, Qatar 140 years, but Turkmenistan has gas reserves that will last for the next 300 years or so. They're super rich. And it is because of this that Turkmenistan wanted to attract foreign investors. And so that's why they transformed its capital city, Ashgabat, from an underdeveloped village to this. A city full of buildings made of white marble costing between $200,000 to $500,000 each, like $500,000 for each marble, which literally gave them the Guinness
Crazy for a city that barely has people in it, right?
World record for this. This Olympic complex cost $5 billion, for example. I mean, that's crazy. And I know it all sounds cool and stuff, but the average local lives for less than $300 a month. In this rich country, an average person is poorer than the average citizen of most places in the world. And that's also why Ashgabat always looks empty, like no one can afford living here. Just like with North Korea's organized and controlled trips, Ashgabat became a show city, a showcase for foreigner investors, and a
Listen, man, I don't know if I can live in a country where every move you make is being controlled. You're just being every move is watched. Everything you do, like, you have no privacy. Allegedly, they rule you. Supposedly, like, I can't live in a country like that. I don't know. I see why a lot of them go from over there to over here. If only we the people can get our shit together. Like, it's time to the point we need to start boycotting and get our shit. And we're too divided, really too divided.
few tourists. And so if anything, it's a massive show of lack of care for the actual people who live in the country. Like, they care so little about the locals that even though they have water scarcity outside of the city, in Ashgabat they build more than 1,000 fountains. And when we put all of these crazy things together, that is why Ashgabat, being so interesting, still remains one of the least visited places in the world. It's very tough to get in, and it costs money for the visa. Plus, people who visit the place say,
I could walk around more freely than in North Korea, but it was very apparent I was being watched.
That's why Turkmenistan has very few visitors, and for those who might...
See, when he mentioned North Korea, I already knew it. Like, North Korea, the president tries to control everything. Like, the lady just said she could walk around more freely, but she was being more, like, they surveillanced her more. Like, I'm guessing they hacked the internet and everything. Like, you have no private life. I cannot live in a place like this. And it's crazy because everywhere, every city, every country, blah, 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 allegedly, I think they do the same thing. That espionage shit is just, listen, I'm just guessing them two countries are the worst. Hey, don't blame me. A Shorty is just bringing all you guys the news. I'm just bringing the news.
manage to get in, just like in North Korea, they'll be under strict control and supervision by the government. So why is Turkmenistan so weird? They have so much money and they're so unique as a tourist destination. They could be thriving. Well, as usual, it all boils down to its government, which can do whatever they want with its power and money. The country had leaders who belonged to history's craziest dictatorships. Think North Korea's Kim Jong-un or Russia's Putin type of people. But Turkmenistan had Supermarud Niyazov and Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov. Both of them ruled for over 30 long years. These two people really cared about themselves and what they liked. Niyazov, who declared himself
Copyright disclaimer under
president
Section
for
107 of the
life, was the
Copyright
one
Act
who
of
wrote the
1976. Allowance
Runama
is
and
made for
forced
fair
his
use for the purposes
had
such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast.
Supermarud Niyazov and Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov. Both of them ruled for over 30 long years. These two people really cared about themselves and what they liked. Niyazov, who declared himself president for life, was the one who wrote the Runama and forced his people to live by this Bible. He had thousands of statues and portraits built and printed in his honor, to make sure that no one ever forgets his power. He even renamed the month of January after himself and the month of April after his mother. How crazy is that? And remember all these random things banned in the country?
Yo, I cannot, man. Yo, when I tell you that I fear no man, and the only man that I follow behind is God. Man, I cannot, I will not, I refuse to. I already say to myself that I have no president until we have a president that is for us, the people, that cares about us. Like, yo, these presidents out here in these other countries, all they care about is making that money, getting rich, and eating, and screwing, and yada yada. They don't care about their people. Shit, the United States about to be next, right? With them, they trying to make the country just like that. Hey, but y'all sleep.
Well, he's the guy behind it. He's the guy who once banned dogs in the capital city because he didn't like how dogs smell. Now, it was also a common tradition for the locals to wear golden teeth as a sign of status. But he also banned gold teeth, and then you'll never guess what he said to his people: to chew on chicken bones instead, so they make their teeth stronger. He was so random. And the guy after him, Berdimuhamedov, who also had a nickname for himself, the Protector. He was even more bizarre. He was the guy who banned black cars and allowed people to drive only white because he believed that white cars bring good luck. And aside from, of course, creating a golden statue of himself, he loved doing the most random stuff, from driving...
Yo, where in the world do they put these people into, to become leaders? Who elects these people?
military cars around, to piloting a fighter plane, to DJing, to even rapping. He's like a cool uncle, right? And when in 2019 there were rumors that he might be dead, to prove that he's very much alive, he did this. That is him in his race car around the gates of hell.
This nigga was bold. He really went around in a race car in the gates of hell just to prove to the people, yeah, I'm that man. Yo, all for the fame. Yo, I'm telling you the shit people do. And this is supposed to be an ex-president.
Showing that he didn't die. So, yeah, now you know why Turkmenistan is so mysterious and weird. Despite living in...
That's how you say it, Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan. But I did not know that the gates of hell was there. And that's right next to Iran, Afghanistan. Yo.
In a country that has so much gas that they could last hundreds of years and could bring a lot of money to feed its people, it still is a country that's isolated, has weird rules, and honestly, because it's so hidden, no one knows how its people really live. Last year they got a new president, the son of the former president, who I really hope will use the amazing amount of money they have for the locals to make their...
Hopefully, because I don't get these third world countries and shit. If it wasn't for the locals, right, taking care of the plants, the factories, and everything else, or doing what they do, a lot of the stuff there wouldn't even really work. So I'm kind of lost why I treat the people there that do all this hard labor like shit. And then y'all the richest country out there. Y'all got gas that will fucking last y'all another fucking 300 years while other countries are running out. Yo.
Their lives better, and at the same time also become more accessible for the tourists, because here's the tiny secret. Please subscribe to Project Nightfall, because we plan to go to Turkmenistan. If the rules change and it's more accessible, I would love to go there and show you the next phase with the new president, how the
shit, I would love to do that too. Will the new president make a difference in that country? I wish the president in our country made a difference.
people really live there. Undeniably, Turkmenistan is one of the most unique places in the world, and it's a big reminder that no matter how much potential a country can have, it is their leaders who will mostly decide if that potential is used making the country amazing to live in or selfishly focusing on themselves.
That's a fact. I want to thank everybody for, going, this far along in the video. Thank you for the support. Like, yo, this is crazy. This right here shows y'all, even though I made this video because I wanted a lot of people to see that, damn, it's crazy. Yo, the gates of hell really does exist. We need to start doing a little more reading, a little more research, and re-educating ourselves. And as y'all can see, when it comes to the politics, every president out there is nothing but assholes. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what they are, assholes. Till next time, this y'all Shorty Ray. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of y'all Shorty Racheal and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch and getting